Silver Arrowhead or Silver Goosefoot is a popular houseplant with dark green colored arrowhead shaped leaves with light colored veins, which make it look so pretty. It's a climber and its habits are very close to pothos. Hi, this is Ruchi and let's talk about Silver Goosefoot propagation and care today. So I got some cuttings of Silver Goosefoot a few months back and I propagated them to make new plants. So I'll show you how I did that. But before we go there, let me share a few things about the plant. It does not like direct sunlight. If you put it in direct sunlight, it may scorch its tender leaves. It is perfect as a house plant because it can survive in low light. Although if the light is really low, the indirect sunlight is really low, it may not grow that well. But otherwise, if it gets enough indirect sunlight, it will thrive inside the house. It likes well-draining soil, so you can use general purpose potting soil mix with a little bit of perlite for good drainage and a little bit of cocoa peat to keep the soil moist. Make sure that the pot is never too dry because that will wilt away the leaves. The leaves are really tender. But before the waterings, you should make sure that the soil is dry because you don't want to overwater it. It likes normal room temperature anywhere from 65 degrees Fahrenheit to 80 degrees Fahrenheit or 20 degrees centigrade to 27 degrees centigrade. But it likes a little more humidity. So if you can put a humidity tray under the pot, that may be great. During growth months, you can fertilize it with a general purpose fertilizer once a month. In fall and winters, you should hold off the fertilizer. If you prune it, then it will become very bushy because it will grow more branches and it will become like a flower pot. But if you don't prune it, it will grow tall and then you may want to support it with something. By the way, it is toxic, so you want to make sure that you keep it away from children and pets. Normally, it doesn't get that many pests, but because it is indoors, sometimes you will get mealybugs or spider mites in it. So you could use diluted neem oil or some insecticidal soap for it. If the air circulation around the plant is good, then it will reduce the chances of developing these pests. So I got the cuttings and then I made smaller cuttings, like 4 or 5 inches long cuttings from it. I cut every cutting under the node and removed the bottom leaves and put them in water jar. I made sure that at least one node goes under the water. Node is a place from where the leaves grow, and that's the place that potentially roots will grow from. So you want to make sure that one node is at least under water because it will develop roots. And then I kept this jar indoors where it used to get indirect sunlight but no direct sunlight. And I was changing the water every 3-4 days because you want to replenish the micronutrients in the water for the cutting. In 6 weeks, it started to develop roots, but I didn't get the chance to transplant it at that time. And in 10 weeks, look at these, some of these stems have really, really long roots. So I definitely need to transplant it now. Generally, if the roots are like maybe 2 inches long, then you can transplant it. By the way, you may have noticed that some of the stems didn't develop roots, and that's perfectly normal. You should not expect 100% a success. Even if 50% of the stems develop roots, that's good enough. So I'm going to leave those stems without the roots in the water and I'll keep it indoors. Maybe they'll develop roots after some time. So here in this pot, I have general purpose potting soil mix with perlite and cocoa peat. All I have to do is that take the cuttings and make sure that the roots are all buried under the soil. So after transplanting the stems with roots, I'm going to water it thoroughly and then I'll keep it indoors in indirect sunlight. And I'm sure some of these will survive and develop into beautiful plants. So basically you take the stems, you make 4-5 inch long cuttings, you put them in water, make sure at least one node goes under water, keep on changing the water every 3-4 days, and it should develop roots in a few weeks. And once the roots are about 2 inches long, you can transplant them into soil. Again, keep it in indirect sunlight indoors, and slowly you will see it developing into beautiful plants. So I hope this video was useful to you. If you have any questions, leave me a comment and I'll try to answer as soon as possible. If you like this video, press the like button and subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to share it with your friends and family. And I'll see you next time. Happy gardening. Bye.